Look, we're only a week in, and so far, so good. Now is Vashon Tunsil, Chicago resident and activist, and Joe Borelli, minority leader of the New York City Council. Vashon, Tom Homan's deportations in Chicago, you heard your governor and you've heard your mayor. They're really upset by this. They say, oh, we're not going to interfere, but.
Okay, I just want to say this. First thing I want to say is thank you, Tom Homan, for doing an absolute great job for cleaning up the city of Chicago. I know you're not done yet. And I have another thing to say to Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker. How do you guys sleep at night knowing that there are rapists out here that committed these heinous crimes against the children and the women? How do you guys sleep at night knowing that we're $500 million in debt when it comes to these illegals? How do these men sleep at night knowing that you're putting illegal immigrants that are committing crimes over the American citizens? I just can't believe that they're doing this.
Well, and Joe, each illegal immigrant in the United States, I got an illegal alien. Immigrants are the people we welcome in because they want to be part of the national fabric. They want to contribute to the society. But Joe, they cost on average $8,000 a year in subsidies, health care, schooling, all the other vouchers they receive from various entities. So the idea that this doesn't cost us anything, this costs us hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, we have the receipts here in New York. So far, the migrant crisis has cost $6.5 billion with a B out of pocket. Wow. So if there's no other elected official in New York, maybe it's just me, but I want to say thank you to President Trump. Thank you to Tom Homan, because as a taxpayer in this city, I don't know how long we can possibly sustain this wave of illegal people living on our dime. I mean, thankfully, we have seen a reduction in the numbers thanks to some of the work that Trump has done on the border already. So we are closing some of our migrant shelters. But how do we get back that $6.5 billion that could have gone to schools, to hospitals, to nurses, to firefighters, or even, making the flowers in the park grow nicer? All these things were taken from us because the Democratic Party fundamentally failed us at the border and here in our large cities.
Well, Vashon, what's happening in places like Fairfax County, Virginia, which is right outside of D.C., is a very wealthy area, but the public schools have seen a decrease in enrollment. COVID, but a lot of the politics in public schools, a lot of especially Christian parents have pulled their kids out. So the illegal influx of students is actually helpful to the teachers' unions, a whole new generation to propagandize to, I guess. So that's also kind of an unholy alliance, along with Catholic Charities, sadly, Lutheran Services, all these other NGOs.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. We have to just start putting Americans first. Like, it's just as simple as that. And I believe Tom Homan is doing the right job when it comes to putting Americans first. And I just want to say this to all the criers out there who are crying over the undocumented immigrants who's been here for years and whatever, like Selena Gomez. Tom Homan has already made this clear. If you are here illegally, you're not off the table. You are committing a crime within itself if you're here illegally in America.
Yeah, I mean, again, but they just want to say, oh, that doesn't matter. Well, that's why we have millions of people here, Joe. It does. If they told the world that if you come here illegally, you can stay indefinitely. They broadcast that to the world, and you in New York are suffering, and you in Chicago and Oakland and St. Louis and little towns across America, you're all suffering as a result. Joe.
Right. I mean, Tom Homan's fundamentally right. He talked about consequences as being the negative and being the reason people don't come. But the consequences when they're giving you free stuff and free health care and free schools and fundamentally the life that many of them do hope for, of course, more people are going to come. It doesn't take a genius to realize it. In fact, even Eric Adams tried to fly down to South America at one point during this crisis to try to convince people that this wasn't in their best interest. But until we stopped giving them, basically everything they possibly need for free, they weren't going to stop coming. That changed when Donald Trump took office on day one, and I suspect it's going to get better from here on in.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have to be removed, and it's got to